Okay, imagine this. You're working your regular fast food job, in Seattle, thinking about like avoiding the drill, maybe getting your buddy Frank to finally crack under the pressure. Then boom, everything changes. A weird encounter, this cold electric feeling, and then a package shows up at your apartment. Inside, your best friend's head, severed, but still talking, still complaining actually. What do you even do? So today, yeah, we're doing a deep dive into Samhain Corvus LaCroix's world. Sam, for short, he's this 20-year-old college dropout, works as a fry cook, and his life just flips from totally mundane to, well, seriously macabre. Our mission here is to unpack his story, figure out these sudden powers he gets, the hidden stuff going on around him, and this really high-stakes fight he's in. For survival, for identity. This isn't just, a simple story. It's a look into a world that's way more complicated than it seems. Lots of surprising facts, those aha moments about, well, finding out who you really are. We're going to trace Sam's journey. From, like, totally confused beginner to maybe a reluctant master, guided by some really intriguing source material. Get ready for secrets about necromancy, what family really means, and the kind of shocking truth about who's pulling the strings behind the scenes. So let's paint the picture. Sam LaCroix at Plumpy's, the fast food place. Life's pretty centered around his friends there. You've got Ramon Hernandez, his best friend, super loyal, kind of mischievous. They do potato hockey with brooms. And apparently Ramon can French braid hair.
He sounds like quite the character.
Yeah. Then there's Frank. Younger guy, works the counter, easily influenced. Sam and the others have this running bet, how long till the job just crushes his soul.
Ah, classic workplace survival pool.
Totally. And Brooke, she seems all sweet, cheerleader type at the drive-thru, but she's got this hidden devious side.
All right. Source material does a great job setting up this ordinary rhythm. The bet's on Frank. Ramon's smoke breaks, even though he supposedly quit. This is the principal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And their manager, Kevin. The lesser of two Kevins, which is pretty funny. Right. Compared to Sam's actual dad, also named Kevin, who he's estranged from. It builds this really relatable, kind of quirky, normal base for Sam.
Which makes the crash even harder.
Exactly. Makes the chaos hit harder.
And it starts with this really unsettling moment. In the Plumpy's parking lot, this guy, Douglas Montgomery, super sharply dressed, confronts Sam. Sam kind of stumbles, grabs the guy's wrists to steady himself, and feels this weird cold snap of electricity. That's the first real hint, right? Something's off.
Mm-hmm. It's more than just static cling. It's the narrative cracking open the door to the supernatural. It sets a baseline instantly. This isn't going to be a slow burn reveal.
No kidding.
Death is different here. Reality's rules are bending.
Yeah.
That aha moment is how fast the source throws us in. No gentle intro, just shock.
And the aftermath is...
wow.
Brooke's head.
Yeah.
Decapitated. Delivered in a brown paper package to Sam's apartment. Just try to imagine the sheer whiplash of that. Facing something so impossible, what would you do? Your best friend's head is on your kitchen counter complaining the floor's cold.
Yeah.
She actually says, Sam, if you don't get off the counter and free me from this humiliation, I will gnaw your damn ankles right off. It's terrifying, but also... so Brooke.
Exactly. That detail is brilliant. The fact that she's still her, bossy, demanding the floor be swept because it's cold and ugly. It's not just fantasy weirdness. It cements the world's new rules. Her consciousness persisting without a body. That's fundamental to understanding the necromancy Sam's about to stumble into.
Mm-hmm.
Death isn't always final here.
Okay, so this Douglas Montgomery guy, sender of talking heads, who is he? Turns out he's the main antagonist, super powerful necromancer, and he's the head of the Northwest Council, which is like a big deal in the supernatural governing world.
Yeah, and his backstory is pretty dark. Trained by his Auntie Lynn, who he then killed to steal her power.
Oh.
Yeah. He spent decades perfecting that ritual, that power grab. It really shows his, ruthless ambition. The real insight there isn't just power corrupts, but how methodically he mastered that corruption over years, how he wove necromancy into the everyday world, getting a council seat. That's unusual for a necromancer. Just underlines how dominant, how dangerous he is in that hidden hierarchy.
And his motives become clear fast. He wants Sam's power, either to control it or just eliminate Sam entirely. Sees him as a threat to his business, because apparently raising the dead is a business for him. The source mentions him raising Ling Su, the panda at Woodland Park Zoo, as like a temporary solution for their exhibit. And get this, there's even a hint he's involved in keeping the Rolling Stones touring. Sam wonders if it's Keith Richards Douglas is propping up.
That detail, the Rolling Stones bit, it's It's actually a really clever touch in the source. It's not just showing off Douglas's power. It hints at something kind of insidious, how easily our normal world might actually depend on these hidden supernatural gates.
Right.
It's a surprising fact that makes you realize how deep his influence goes. He's not just a villain. He's like this supernatural corporation.
A very creepy corporation. His influence is everywhere, hidden in plain sight. And Sam, totally clueless about all this power swirling around until that meeting at the zoo with Douglas, where Douglas tries to force him to see the spirit world. Sam sees people as these walking kaleidoscopes of color, and the reanimated panda has this spectral outline. He describes his mind as stretching, trying to make sense of it all.
Yeah, that scene is huge for Sam's awakening. No. Not just seeing spirits, but the sheer force of it. It's not gentle. It's like ripping a veil away.
Yeah.
And that description, the kaleidoscope of colors, the spectral outline, that's the visual language of his powers starting to emerge, really unique in the source material.
Then things get even crazier. Sam and Ramon find a seer, Maya LaRouche, and she drops the bombshell. Sam, powerful necromancer, but his powers were bound when he was born.
Bound.
Yeah, like magically tied up. And not just once, twice. 2 separate bindings holding his powers back.
Wow. Okay, that raises big questions, right? Destiny versus free will.
Mm-hmm.
Sam's whole journey becomes this deep dive into who he thought he was versus who he actually is. The specifics matter here. The blindings, who did them. It shows these complex layers of protection, of concealment, that basically shaped his entire life without him knowing. He was on a path he didn't even know existed.
So, the first binding, his mom, Tia LaCroix, turns out she's a witch, runs an herbalist website, herbaceousplanet.com. She did it to protect him when he was little because spirits were terrifying him. She even made him this protective pouch. It has a crow on it. It shields him from, like, spectral radar, makes him invisible to supernatural detection.
So spectral radar, okay, like magical stealth tech.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Then the second binding, even stronger, done by his uncle Nick Hatfield. That's his biological dad's brother. Also a powerful necromancer.
Ah, so it runs in the family. Both sides, potentially.
Seems like it. Nick did it right when Sam was born. He was scared for Sam's life, basically trying to hide the sheer level of Sam's power from Douglas Montgomery.
That's intense. Double bound for his own protection. It shows how much danger they knew he'd be in. But also, what a thing to keep from someone.
Yeah, it's a massive thing to process. Sam's reaction is complicated. First, he's angry, feels hobbled, like he's been held back his whole life. But then he starts to understand why they do it, the protective reasons. And this next bit from the source is super interesting for understanding Sam. He was basically designed to be hidden, his whole destiny shaped by these family secrets, these powerful spells. So what does that mean for him now? Does this new identity just replace the old fry cook Sam? Or is it more complex?
The source suggests it's definitely more complex. It's integration, not replacement.
Yeah.
Yes, it completely reframes his identity, but he has to reconcile it all. He can't just be the hidden heir. He has to figure out how that fits with the guy who played potato hockey. The bindings weren't just protection. They were enforced ignorance he now has to overcome. It's about putting the pieces together.
And as his world breaks open, other players emerge from this hidden supernatural world. Potential allies, like Brid Blackthorn, she's a hybrid. Half werewolf, half feyhound, which sounds formidable. Feyhounds are known for tracking, right? Especially by moonlight. And fierce loyalty.
Very formidable. A unique combination.
Then there's Ashley. She is a harbinger. Appears like a young ghost girl. Guides lost souls, can open portals. Sort of a bridge between worlds.
A crucial role in a story involving necromancy.
Definitely. And through Douglas's dealings, we meet other council members. Witches, furies, those ancient vengeance spirits, even vampires like Kel. It shows you just how big and tangled this hidden world really is.
These aren't just side characters. They represent different facets of the magical system Sam's now part of. Each brings different rules, dangers, abilities. It really fleshes out the world, shows the scope of what Sam's facing. The Furies, especially, add this layer of deep myth, ancient power within the hierarchy. He stepped into a very old, very complex game.
And his entry isn't smooth. It accelerates into this brutal so-called training. He gets captured, imprisoned in Douglas's basement, which sounds awful. Part lab, part torture chamber.
Grimm's putting it mildly.
Douglas forces him through this cruel training, trying to make him master his powers. What does that do to someone psychologically, beyond just being locked up?
Well, the source describes it as a methodical attempt to break his will. It's not just physical confinement, it's coercion. And during this, Sam accidentally summons something called Ed, an upper-level entity. Way more powerful and unpredictable than a normal spirit. He was trying to reach Ashley.
Oh, wow. So he's got this raw power he can't control.
Exactly. And ironically, summoning Ed, it actually terrifies Douglas. But instead of backing off, it just confirms Douglas's decision. Sam's too dangerous, gotta kill him. Highlights the constant peril Sam's in.
But his friends don't give up on him. That loyalty really stands out. Ramon is working nonstop to find him. He contacts June Walker, that's Maya the Seer's sister, also a necromancer, and eventually he gets Brid's family involved. Her pack, for a rescue.
Calls in the big guns.
Yeah, and Frank, he's looking after Brooke's head. He gets her this specialized bowling bag. Skull design says knock 'em dead on it for, safe transport. It's weirdly sweet.
It really is. The friends' actions are this grounded anchor in all the supernatural craziness.
Yeah.
Ramon's resourcefulness, Frank's practical care for Brick's head. It shows that bond is real even when things get bizarre.
Which leads us to the climax. It's chaos. Brid's pack, the Blackthorns, led by her dad Brannock, they show up. Plus other allies, like Mrs. W., who turns out to be Libby, a witch friend of Sam's mom, they descend on Douglas's estate.
Full-scale battle erupts.
Totally. Against Douglas's defenses. Reanimated statues, lions, minotaurs, gladiators, even lawn gnomes.
Lawn gnomes. Seriously.
Apparently. Don't underestimate weaponized garden decor.
Right. Well, it shows the scale of the fight. Douglas turns anything into a weapon. It's a massive clash of powers. The stakes are incredibly high for everyone.
Down in the basement, the confrontation is intense. Sam's still bound. He has to watch Douglas start this ritual using his blood, but then the bindings break. His power just explodes outwards, untamed, massive. And he connects instinctively with all the angry spirits of Douglas's victims trapped in that room. He feels their pain, their rage.
That's the moment. His own anger, plus channeling the collective suffering Douglas caused. It gives him the strength to break free. The source describes his power blowing outward, throwing the room into chaos. It's the first real glimpse of his full potential. And the key insight, it's not just his power, it's his choice to connect with to serve the pain of others, turning that victimhood into justice.
And it's decisive. Guided by those spirits, Sam releases them. This huge surge of energy just hits Douglas, kills him instantly.
Wow, just like that.
And Brid, she doesn't hesitate. Takes out Michael, Douglas's second in command, immediately after. Swift revenge.
Okay, so power and consequence right there. Sam chooses to act, accepts the spirit's help. It's a sacrifice, really, and it unleashes all these changes. He inherits Douglas's stuff, his council seat, which raises that big question. What kind of leader will he be? Can he handle that power without falling into the same traps?
Yeah, and the consequences aren't all neat and tidy. During the fight, Ramon gets infected, starts changing into some kind of werewolf or bear hybrid, a volatile strain, apparently.
Oh, man. Not good.
But then, for Brooke, there's this surprising positive twist. Sam does a ritual, brings her back fully, reanimated in her own body.
He brings her back completely. That's a huge step up in his abilities. Shows his innate gift, a real aha moment about life and death in this world.
So Sam finally gets control, embraces his power, but the cost is immense. Douglas is dead, sure, but there's all this chaos, and his best friend's life is irrevocably changed.
Exactly. Ramon's transformation creates this immediate personal challenge. No easy win. It grounds the victory, makes it clear the consequences are deep and ongoing. Sam's new reality. It's loaded with power, yes, but also huge burdens. He's definitely not just a fry cook anymore.
The story wraps up with Sam recovering at the Blackthorn Clinic, talking with Brid's family, trying to process Ramon's situation, giving him space while his body fights this new hybrid thing. He accepts this new life, too, hires Frank as his full-time assistant, gets him out of Plumpies.
That's a nice touch, helping Frank. And his support for Ramon, even with the weirdness, shows that loyalty is still his anchor. It's about redefining normal, redefining family, now that the supernatural is just part of life.
And there's one last little reveal. Hints at more to come. We learn about Lily Hatfield, Sam's young half-sister, Kevin's daughter. Turns out she has powers too, necromancy. Sam feels that same cold touch from her that he felt from Douglas. The family curse or legacy continues. He gives her his number, opens that door.
Yeah, Lily's introduction is key. It widens the scope of this family trait. It's not just Sam, it's generational. It suggests this curse keeps going. So the story doesn't really end. It's the beginning of Sam's new life. One with incredible power, sure, but also heavy responsibilities as he finally steps into this role he never knew he had.
So from Plumpy's friars to, well, necromantic power struggles, Samhain LaCroix's story is just this whirlwind. Self-discovery, crazy transformations, huge battles. He dealt with incredible family secrets, faced down a seriously scary bad guy, and basically rewrote his own reality. and his friends' realities, too. It's a story about loyalty, control, finding your place, even if that place is nothing like you imagine. And Sam's journey, it really makes you think about the hidden layers in our own world, doesn't it? What if the reality you see is just the surface? What if there are ancient powers, complex magic, beings you can't even imagine, all operating just out of sight? If you found out, like Sam did, about some secret self, some hidden family connection to all that, how would it change your understanding of truth, of power, responsibility? What potential might be hiding inside you, just waiting for its own unexpected world-changing moment?